Good morning, people of God. It is always a joy to gather with you. On most mornings, I know that I don't, put a post up every morning, but it is always a joy for me to share a little bit of time with you. So, actually, something that's going to change starting next Tuesday is that we're going to switch our Tuesdays from Talking to God Tuesdays. We're going to switch those actually to Listening to God Tuesdays, because along with us, bringing our praise, bringing our heartache, bringing our confessions to God. Not only do we need to do that, but we also need to be listening to God. And I think that this is especially a time in which we need to be listening to God. So we have Talking to God Tuesday today. Then next Tuesday, if I remember, we're going to be doing Listening to God Tuesday, so that we might, just be present with God to hear the messages that He needs for us right now, and we need to be listening. We need to be listening. But for today, one other way that I want to lift up for us as far as ways to talk to God. And I've been trying to put a few tools into your hands as far as different things that we can use to bring a little bit of structure to our prayer. The 5 finger prayers. There is using like the Lord's Prayer to pray, but not just the like as we find it, but use each petition as a launching pad for more petitions to God, right? So another thing that we can use in talking to God is by using song, right? We can use song. In fact, that's what the word psalm, right? We have 150 psalms. That's what the word psalm means. It's actually songs, right? And so there's a resource, to use the psalms to sing our prayers to God, right? And I was thinking this morning, we have a whole bunch of different songs that are in our in our hymnals that are actually prayers. They're addressed to God. And so I encourage you just to kind of think through the various hymns that that come to us in a prayer form. So the one that has been on my mind the last day or so is a prayer. And it's called Precious Lord, Take My Hand, right? Precious Lord, Take My Hand. And in thinking through the words to this psalm, I think it's one that we need to be singing, and it's one that we need to be praying right now, right? Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Anybody feel a little tired? Anybody feel a little weak? Anybody feel, a little bit worn? I think we all do, right? There is so much that is going on right now. We have the coronavirus that we've been dealing with for, the past 3 months. And now, we're looking, we as a nation are trying to figure out who we are. We're trying to figure out who we are. And that is a challenge. There are people out on the streets who are legitimately protesting because they feel forgotten and they feel ignored. And people have been, trying to raise the alarm that there is injustice in this great country of ours, and that there needs to be change. There absolutely needs to be change. And I think we are worn out, and we need to lift up our prayers to God and say, please, Lord, take our hand, walk with us through this. Help us to figure out what needs to change and how it needs to change. And, how can we be a nation where there is equity for all, and that people don't feel sidelined, and ignored, where people don't feel scared. You know, there's just so much that we could talk about right now, right? But getting back to this hymn, you know, I think that what I merely want to do this morning is just for us to sing this prayer together, because I really think this particular prayer, this particular song is something that could be very helpful for us. That we just lay our cares before God, asking for His guidance, asking for, for His wisdom. Because I think one of the things that we are in danger of doing is thinking that we have all the answers and those people don't. If we just do life my way, then everything is going to be good. You know, if people would, I got it all figured out. So just, you know what I mean? But I think where we need to start today, maybe I'm just sharing what I need to do, because I'm tired and I'm weak and I'm worn, right? But we need to lay this before God, right? So I'm going to sing this, and then we'll talk about it, or you can sing along with me. This song called "Precious Lord," written by a man named Thomas Dorsey a long time ago. His life was not an easy one. He was a Baptist preacher a long time ago, very famous Baptist preacher who had a lot of difficulties in life, and he was needing guidance. He was needing solace from his Lord. He was needing healing, and so he wrote this song. Okay, so we're going to sing it. Okay. This is our prayer. Okay. Oh, sorry. So, and as we think about this, we can think about it in a couple different ways. We can think about it as, "Precious Lord, take my hand," right? I, Peter Norby, am weak. I'm tired. I'm worn, right? But we can also think about it maybe as a church, that the church is trying to figure out how do we respond in this time of coronavirus. How does the church respond in a time of unrest within our society, where the church needs to speak? The church needs to speak and say, these things are wrong and these things are wrong, and we need to be God's, gracious, loving, caring for all people of God, right? So it's, I am tired, I am weak. The church is tired, the church is weak, the church is worn too, but then also our society, right? Our nation. Our nation is tired. Our nation is weak. Our nation is worn, right? So I want you to think about it, not just as a prayer for me, but a prayer for us. A prayer for us. Here we go. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. So that's verse 1. Lead me home, right? Lead us, dear God, to the foundation of who we are as your people. People who are forgiven, right? Lead us home to sit in your grace. Lead us home to sit in your mercy. Lead us home to sit in your compassion, right? Lead us home. Bring us back to the basics of who we are because of you, right? Help us to go home to those things, not to go home to our own personal opinions and our own agendas and our own way of being and our own selfishness. bring us home. Bring us home, right? When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my life is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When the darkness appears and the night draws near, and the day is past and gone, at the river I stand, guide my feet, hold my hand, take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Gracious God, we come to you to this day on this, talking to you, right? We're talking to you on this Tuesday. We need you to take our hand. We need you to take our hand. Because we are broken, we are worn out, we're tired. We're tired right now. And when people are tired, they need help, they need guidance, they need wisdom, they need strength. And I think we're threatened right now, dear God, thinking that each of us, each side of whatever that we're facing, we think we have the answers. We know what's best for us. We know what's best for our nation. Lead us home, Lead us home to you. Grab onto our hands. Help us to live out our lives with the foundation of your grace and your mercy and your welcome and your embrace. That's what we need. We need to go home to that, and to just go back to the home of what is good and what is right. And a lot of that centers on what we see in Christ. What do we see him doing, right? He embraces all people. He loves all people. He is present for all people. And so lead us home. Lead us home. Lead us away from those things that divide. Lead us away from those things that cause division. Lead us away from those things that leave others left behind who feel that they have no voice, that they have no home. Lead us home, precious Lord. Help us to be the people you call us to be. Bless our nation. Guide our leaders in good ways, in the ways of peace, in the ways of justice for all. Lead us home. Precious Lord. Amen. So, it's a tough time. I'm tired. I'm worn, right? I'm weak. God's not. God is not. God is not, right? And that's where we need to go today, all right? So, next Tuesday, we're picking up something a little different. We're going to be listening to God, okay? I'll be with the kids tomorrow for Wednesday, Little Ones Wednesday. You know, if there's something that can kind of lift our spirits is, you know, just spending time with those precious kids of ours. So I'm going to see them tomorrow morning, all right? See you, people. Have a blessed day. Nope.